Hey everybody, it's Scott, Simcoe Spring Service, and today we're going to be working on a 2004 to 2008 Ford F150. So now a lot of these trucks are over 15 years old. They're starting to break the rear springs in them. It's almost always the middle leaf that breaks. So we actually have a repair kit that's now available at simcoespring.com for you to purchase. But first of all, I'll show you exactly which spring we're talking about, and we'll go through a couple of specifications that we had to verify. So there are actually two different springs that fit in this vehicle. This is the primary spring that we usually work on. It's by far the most popular, probably 10 to 1. It's a 3-leaf spring. You have your main leaf, your clip leaf, that's usually the one that breaks, and that's one we have the repair kit for, and then you have the helper on the bottom. So there's a couple different ways you can fix it. You can replace the entire spring assembly, or with this kit you can just replace the middle one that breaks, and you just install that and you're good to go again. So the easiest way to verify it when you get a broken leaf like this, sometimes they'll separate in the vehicle. So if you can jack it up, get some of the weight off it, and slide them back together, you can actually just measure it from end to end, follow the curvature of the steel, and it should measure about 47.5 inches long. If it's like 3 or 4 inches shorter, or if it's like 3 or 4 inches longer, then it's probably out of the other spring pack, and this repair kit will not work on that vehicle. So this is the repair kit. On our website you can find it as 43-1679-2. It'll come with a leaf, it'll have the plastic pads, the clips, 2 center bolts, and we put in a set of U-bolts because these vehicles are 15 years or older now. We always recommend that you replace your U-bolts, so it comes in the kit. Nice, easy, simple, one item purchase and you get all this. So whenever I put these kits together, I always try to make it as simple as humanly possible for people. So all you have to do is verify the year, which is going to be between 04 and 08 F150. Measure the length of the spring leaf that's broken, and it should be 47.5 inches long, and then this will be the repair kit for you. But the most important thing is, now I'm going to go over to the vehicle and I'm going to show you exactly how we install it and how you can install it, or you can actually get one of your local mechanics to install it for you. Okay, so now that we're all ready and we understand what we're getting into here, so we're going to start doing the disassembly process. So what we're going to do here is we're going to jack it up and get this loose because it's all bound up inside of there. And the last thing we want to do is have all that jammed in there. So we'll get that free, we'll get it all figured out, and then we'll cut that out of there, and then we'll start disassembling the rest of the spring. So after you stabilize your vehicle with wheel chocks, we're going to take the shocks apart, and we'll take the U-bolts apart. So you need a 15 mil socket and an 18 mil wrench. And take that apart. So now we're going to take these apart, and they take a 21 mil socket. And these look pretty crusty. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this clip off, and I'm going to slice it right underneath here, and then that way I don't have to worry about cutting into this leaf at all. Alright, so the same thing here, I'm going to cut right at the bottom here, right there. So now I'm going to jack it up here. Go. Get this block out of here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little space in here, about that much. And what that's going to allow me to do is I'm going to cut the 2 top bolts here, and that's going to allow it to drop down. I'm just going to hit it a couple times. There you go. Comes right apart. And not a single scratch. Okay, so I'm just going to unhook this here like that. Bring this down. I'm going to save that and reuse it. This is junk. Take your plate, give it a scratch. There's some chunks right here. We're going to take that off. I'm actually going to take a die grinder and clean it. I've never seen this much rust on one of these before. Just gonna clean this up a little bit here, just for a quick sec. So now that that's all cleaned up, this is cleaned up, we're gonna lift the spring in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the spring, set it in there, give it a twist, stick it in sideways, and then I'll flip it back up and install it. So we have to let it down a little bit to get these center bolts in. Gotta get them lined up. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Get our top plate back on, our U-bolt plate. So now I'm going to tighten it with a 3/4 inch socket. So what we have to do here is we have to make sure these leaves are all straight. So this one's sticking out. So there you go, that's nice and straight. So these are the clip bolts that are in the kit, and we're going to go install them and tighten them. So we're going to tighten it with a ratchet. And there you go. So this ratchet runs about 55 foot-pounds of torque, so that's all they really need. They don't need to be tightened any more than that. They just hold it in, and they have a little crush tube in there to prevent it from collapsing. And you just tighten it up until it's snug. So we'll do the back one. So now we have to jack it up to get enough room in here to put the block. Make sure it's lined up, just like that. So we'll go put our brand new U-bolts on. Take our U-bolt plate on. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna snug these up a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is make sure all of the stick out is the same on each U-bolt leg. And then, so now that they're all even and slightly snug, we're gonna go around and we're gonna do a tighten. There you go, nice and tight, but not over tightened. So we're gonna put the shock back in. And I'll grab my 15 mil and my 18 mil. Give it a little snug, there you go. And that's it. Everything's tightened, everything's put together, it's nice and lined up. Beautiful new U-bolts. So yeah, that's how you install it. It's actually pretty straightforward for an installation. I like the option that you don't have to take the main leaf out. It's pretty handy. It makes it a lot easier to install. You can actually buy these kits online at simcoespring.com, and the part number is 43-1679-2, and it will come with all the components ready for you to install. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. All right, have a good day.